Welcome to episode 12 of the Sackcast. Here is your hosts Hamish and Dale. The boys are back to talk trash about stuff they really don't know anything about, but this time they brought someone that does. This podcast is sponsored by Northants Wargamers. They think they might come back from this lockdown. For the world's sake, I hope not.
Super.
So we're going to be super ourselves. Are you ready, Mark?
When have I ever had a fucking filter?
True. This is why you're here.
Exactly.
All right. Oh man, I've got something. I swear I swallowed a frog. Yeah, no, my little girl just loves shitting in the bath recently, and it's doing my head in because it's the third day on the trot now.
I mean, you know, when you have your routine, you're comfortable, you're loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't. I don't know. There's something about it when both your parents are now in the bathroom. Oh, excuse me, and you're also in the bath, and they're watching you, and you think, yeah, I think it's time to shit right now.
She's definitely your daughter.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as with dogs, because like usually when dogs are shitting, they'll look at their owner because it makes them feel safe, secure. Because when you're shitting, you're in a vulnerable state. because she's so comfortable with you and Faye, that's where she
can shit.
Hamish,
Do
you not FaceTime your wife when you're taking a crap?
It's a sign of true love.
Nah, man. Anyway, hi, welcome to another episode 12, or episode 2 of season 2,
episode 2
of the Sackcast. I'm Hamish.
I'm Dale,
and then we've got our treasurer with us from the club and a good friend. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Mark. I'm the treasurer, and it's fun to be on here for the second time, I believe.
Was there a second time? Or maybe you did one, and I just never bothered making it. I can't remember.
Season 1, no one remembers that, so
that's true. We already had our rant about season 1.
It's gone. It's over.
Gone,
it's gone to the ether. It's never coming back.
That's that. So yeah, it's normally just us three doing this in the club where we just meet up and
It's our games club, Northants Wargamers.
Yeah. If you didn't know, we have a club.
The best club that meets not
on a Tuesday
night in a nightclub in central Northampton.
In the Roadmender.
I was trying.
That was it. It was the best club in Northamptonshire, located in Northampton, centralised in Roadmender, that meets on a Tuesday. You've
got it wrong. You've got it completely wrong.
I fucked it already. Yeah. Oh well.
We didn't narrow it down right to the Roadmender. It was just to a nightclub in Northampton on a Tuesday, which we thought was pretty specific enough. Because unless someone wants to fucking like set something up in the Penny Whistle or something, I don't know. It's like
the Penny Whistle, good old days. I don't even know if it exists anymore. It's a paddy power.
But what about the shop? Does shops open on a Tuesday in Northampton?
But that's not a nightclub though, is it?
No, that's true. Well, we're the best wargaming club on a Tuesday in Northampton that operates in a nightclub.
We're definitely the best club that we run ourselves, so we can.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Average at best. Make no promise. Promise
nothing. Deliver less.
That's it. Well, to be fair, we promised. We're doing quite well considering that we're promising that we're not going to be open until it's safe. So I do quite worry about when we deliver less than that.
We've not made that promise at all. Right?
Are we not?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good because I was really worried about what we would actually deliver. Because if we deliver less...
It's going to be full body searches, thermometers, and cavity searches every time you come in.
I am totally missing the club.
I have to say, yeah. What are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing to fill that itch at the moment?
Being a dad again, watching my kids shit in a bath.
It's just like the club on Tuesday nights. Smells the same.
If only there was a bath, then it would be just like the club.
Mark, have you been doing anything? Or?
Well, as I said, towards the beginning of, with me, lockdown has been up and down. I've still been working, but it's obviously been pared back a bit. And I did start off with good intentions, getting all of my Necromunda Dark Uprising scenery undercoated and base coated. And
I was going to say, did you finally get that done? Or
well, no, it's not had any progression. I was about to get on to my second part. I was like, yeah, and then I was doing a few bits and pieces with Bushido, but then for the past month, I've done fuck all, basically.
Hamish, have you picked up a model this week?
Other
than to not clean your desk?
Move it out.
No, I think I've seen more human models than I have actual literal models. And you're probably thinking, how? Well, they're just a load of old people that used to be models. No, I was going to. I keep thinking to myself, I need to pick up and paint my Sky Tier stuff, but again, it's this whole COVID thing. I'm being, like I said, being a dad again, just saps all momentum of doing anything. Because you're sort of just like, yeah, what's the point? I mean, I'm sure there's some people that are literally having a great time doing it, but I don't know. I struggled to paint at the best of times, so this is non-existent in my opinion. But I just want to meet up and play games. That's all I want to do.
I think that's the social side of it is the bit I'm really missing the most.
What have you been painting? Oh yeah, you said last week, didn't you, Dale? You're painting some really crap-looking models.
Yeah, I'm doing some really. I've moved on it. No, I went on to American Union Civil War soldiers.
The fun just keeps coming, right?
And then I've been doing up some Hot Wheels cars for Gaslands.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So.
What
that
colours
reminds
are they?
me about Gaslands. There's someone that's done a fan that has done a different rule set for it, which is futuristic grav cars a la Wipeout.
Oh, yeah. There's some of the forums.
Corporation or whatever it's called.
Yeah, there's been some good conversions coming up on pictures on some of the Facebook forums.
So what's the change in the rules in that? I mean,
it's just
it's like everyone has like really extreme skids and stuff like that, just like in like the futuristic races like F-Zero and Wipeout and stuff like that. There's still weapons and stuff, but it's a lot more fast paced.
Sure, so you're basically just like doing a complete 90-degree turn over a 20-degree angle. Like,
yeah.
Just a slight incline and you're already spinning. Beyblading around the corner.
Okay.
That sounds good, actually. I'll play that.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying, like, there's some games I really want you to come play at some point, and you're always like, yeah, right, and then you never do.
Yeah, I know, because I'm a son of a bitch. That's why.
Just sit there with your dick in your hand after you've beaten Ben for the 10th time at Sky Tier.
No, I can't reach it, man. I've gotten too fat. No, I play Ben now and then. I can't remember the last time I played Sky Tier.
I had to do a double check the other day because is it God Tier as well, which is another.
That's done by Steamforge Games, the guys that do Guild Ball.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a little bit confused for a second. I was like, oh.
I know. There's God Tier, which is also a MOBA inspired game. But I know the names are and the game influences are ridiculously similar, but they are totally different at the same time.
Which one's better, Hamish?
Sky Tier, easily.
Have you played God Tier?
Yeah, I did actually. I met up with when I went over to what's it?
Gen Con.
No, not Gen Con. No, what was it? It was in London at the XL. Was it in London? Salute. Yeah, they were in Salute. Okay. Me and Ben Abraham, and I went with all the Bens, and Steamforge Games were there, and I stayed there the whole time because I was into Guild Ball at that time. And everything else was full of World War II shit. It was so boring.
Okay, there's another game that you've played and killed in our club.
Another one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it's not dead though. Still going technically. It's just
still. I know a few people.
It's dead to me.
I know a few people who run a Guild Ball podcast, and they're pretty into it and keen on it. So
yeah,
we're still going. Yeah,
it's still got. It's like
just going Northampton.
No, like War Machine. It's still going somehow.
War Machine's still going in Northampton reasonably.
No, they're true. They are. I mean, these guys.
Despite Privacy Press's best efforts.
Yeah. These guys are stubborn, despite their efforts to really just, bend over the players.
Fucking kill it.
Yeah. They really do know how to, give their player base
another version
a rough time.
They're doing like version 3.5 or something, is it? Or
well, I think that might be on the horizon, but all of their efforts are in Warcaster at the moment, isn't it?
The sci-fi one, yeah.
Warcaster.
Yeah, the sci-fi version.
It just looks like the space elves that they released in War Machine anyway. So
no, it just looks like chunky Infinity.
Chunky.
It's like,
thick Infinity, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Infinity has had a few too many.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, I told you.
That's Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
like
Infinity. Really weird.
It's like Infinity and Tau had a retarded love child.
Although they don't look bad.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's very
generic.
Oh my god! If someone just showed me a picture of this, I would have said that it's Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Infinity have got their Code 1 thing coming out, so.
Oh, Code 1 is out.
Well, that's out, yeah, sorry.
And then version 4 of the rules is coming out reasonably soonish. Not sure when the Spanish have their siestas and what have you, I don't know.
Hey, I'd be up for them. They close down in summer and it sounds really cool.
I'm not going to lie, though, as much as I'm just ripping into this.
Oh, Hamish has found a new game.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. All right, there's only 3 factions.
Although it is quite funny that they had to do a Kickstarter to get it going.
Well, that's what everyone does.
Yeah, but are they doing it because it's getting it going, or are they doing it just because we've become so soft to them to start things?
What do you mean? What, Kickstarter?
Like, so many companies now do Kickstarters that have no need to do them at all. They just do them as a starting thing to get.
They just use them as a pre-order platform, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so that they don't have to put in the upfront cost to get stuff going. It's apparently there is a business model behind it. I spoke to some chap from Steamforge Games when I went to Salute because God Tier was on Kickstarter, and they had this. There's a business model behind it.
It reduces your upfront costs.
Pretty much, and everyone just goes nuts for it. So why not?
Well, you've got your 3 factions: the Iron Star Alliance,
mm-hmm. We're back to Warframe,
and
Warframe.
What's it called? Warframe?
Atterus.
Warcaster.
Warframe is the game on. It's a game.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, isn't it? God, there's so many Warcaster, Neo Mechanica. Yeah, there's 3 factions.
The Aternus Continuum.
I've seen the models and the models for the Iron Star. They look totally infinite. Oh my god, it is.
Oh, that's just Pano. Yeah, you look at those and you go, that's just pure Pano Shiana.
And then the is it called the Marcher Worlds? Yeah, they look. It's like Tau and Signar.
The Continuum look like Nomads Infinity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you reckon? I mean, I haven't seen any of them.
I mean, we've all loved War Machine and Hordes at some point.
Yeah, that's true. I still consider it one of the best tabletop games I played, the version 2, the Mark II, when it first came out. That was nuts. I thought it was one of the best tabletop games I've played. It's still a strong contender. I just got really bored of it.
You were a press ganger, weren't you?
No,
that was me.
Mark, the worst press ganger ever.
You're the worst press ganger.
Didn't do anything.
Not with you. Well, I did some stuff with you guys.
Warcaster is played with strike dice, which are a unique design of symbols that indicate success, and blank sides to indicate failures. Yeah. White dice are the baseline dice, and the red dice have better probabilities of success and are used for boosts and bonuses. I quite like the 2d6. I'm not going to lie.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, when they release some stuff, we'll have a look. And there is.
The problem is the
it's private press.
Well, there is that, but it's also the fact that the market is just lousy for skirmish level games at the moment.
Yeah,
there's so many of them out and coming out, and all of that. It's just a completely oversaturated market. In all honesty, it's
a weird one because I do more the historical stuff, and it's not too much that way at the moment. So the big games that are coming out at the moment are. So we had Saga at the end of last year and stuff like that. And then at the moment, the big one that came out today was, this week was Infamy. So skirmish-based historical games, which are really popular in that end. But I don't know sci-fi games. Who does good sci-fi games other than GW?
Infinity was pretty successful. And
Infinity's still pretty successful. You've got Antares. Antares skirmish is it's not as
there's
big.
A question: do you successful and you liking it is two different things. Like 40K is the most successful sci-fi game, a tabletop game ever. I still don't like it.
That's the thing, though. They've got in on it with their Kill Team.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like.
But you're right. There's a bucket ton of skirmish games coming out. I mean, you're playing Bushido. I mean, I don't want to say, Mark, you're playing Bushido. I've got some models of Bushido. I do dabble in that as well. I mean, that's a skirmish game. Feels like skirmish games.
It does look very nice, but it's a 2x2 board, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's a good game. It is a good game actually. They've managed. We were talking about dice in the last episode, and they actually made D6s.
Work.
Good,
yeah,
which is impressive considering I hate them.
Well, because the thing is, it's not actually a 1d6 system, is it? It's like whenever you do a melee attack, you roll however much your melee pool is, which is like on average 3. You take the highest dice, and then if whatever dice that aren't ones, add +1 to your total.
Yeah, that was it. So if I rolled a 5, if I rolled 3 dice and one was a 5, a 4, and a 6, I'll take the 5. That is the result. No, the 5, a 4, and a 6. I'll take the 6, and the 5 and the 4 will
Hamish
add
takes
up.
The 5, and we just
No,
laugh.
I haven't got a choice. I'll take the lowest one. Why?
So is that? I mean, like when we were doing War Machine with the 2d6, and you
that
have
was
to hit
better.
The target, and that because again it's d6, but it's still because you're using 2 of them. It's
it was not really a d6. It was 2d6.
That's the thing. It's 2 to 12, so it offers a lot more granularity in terms of the results, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was the best bit. So when you go, I need a 3 with 2d6. Okay, brill. That's one result. We'll deny this.
Epic Lagroff.
Oh God, yeah. 3 9. 3 double ones in a row. I quit. I'm going to feat for no reason. Oh dear. Let's talk about Privateer Press.
I mean, where did it go wrong?
I don't know. I don't think it did. Oh, you're a press ganger.
Yes, I was right on the front line of them. They basically just kind of like however better Games Workshop were getting at their public relations and involving the community and what have you. Because from like 2005 to like about 2012, 2013, Games Workshop were absolute rubbish at actually engaging with their fan base. Yeah. And then Privateer Press were kind of the opposite because they did like the free beta testing of new stuff and all that kind of thing, and they were really open with it. But then, as I said, it was like a sliding scale where it was Games Workshop got more engaged and more involved with their fan base. Privateer Press went the other way, and they were like, let's get rid of all press gangers, let's get rid of our official forums where there's like years worth of content and just wipe that out. And they've just been kept doing that where they're just basically just like rubbishing their fan base. and anyone that's like particularly involved or enthusiastic about their products.
I jumped out of it because I think I just played so much of it that I felt a little bit like, I don't know, they're releasing what were the huge
Gargantuans.
Colossus, that's it.
Gargantuans, yeah.
Yeah, when they released them, I think it was like they were trying to take this, like, because they started off Mark II with a more of a Warjack focused approach, and because the first one, it was meant to be that, but it turned into some serious, like, critics was
infantry machine.
Yeah, it was just all infantry. You don't take Warjacks.
I remember that my Redeemer was just every time, like, my feet are like, my army comes back this turn, it'd be like, oh, what?
Was that Mark II or Mark 1?
That was Mark 1, and he got nerfed.
Well, Mark 1 and Mark 2. So like Mark 2 at the beginning started off with a thing, but then towards the end of Mark 2, you had the absolute bullshit with Bane Knights against Bane Knights, shadow shifting against each other, and Idrian skirmishers intercepting and killing 3 Warjacks on your opponent's turn. Things like that.
It was also like the optimum Bane Knight list was like, well, how much each of those models was £12, and you needed 16 of them or something, and that was it.
Well,
and you're like, well,
it was £30 for 10, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because this was back when it was the all-metal models and they didn't have the ridiculous price of their resin shit. Or even better, the combo resin metal kits that were an absolute fucking joy to work with.
Oh, no.
I remember when I first got one of those resin kits and the axes I had were all bent.
Yeah. Like, but you could correct that.
You could.
Yeah, you could.
You had to put it in hot
water.
water. But I don't expect to buy my miniatures and then have to correct it with a kettle. Like, sit there steaming them out, going, "Oh, don't worry about it, guys."
So yeah, but when Mark II came out, the Warjacks were a bit more of a focus, and I think we jumped in when it was coming to that time, and I think that was when it was really at its best.
Yes.
When Mark II, when it initially first came out, that was definitely when it was at its best.
It's also, we had a good community of people in our area who were playing it. And
I think that's pretty much why we had a club, effectively.
Yeah. It was one of the main reasons why we set up, because we needed somewhere to play non-Games Workshop games, basically.
We had a couple of Games Workshop. Yeah, we had a couple of Games Workshop. We had a load of War Machine Hordes, and we had some fantasy. Oh, and we had some role players as well.
We had one role play group. But this is when there was 8 of us. But yeah, we pretty much just went, well, let's just get all of our scenery and play War Machine.
Move across the road.
Yeah, let's just play War Machine, because we all want to play War Machine. And that did last for a good while.
Yeah. So it would have been, because we were still doing big tournaments up until we moved into the Roadmender, we moved there in 2013.
Yeah.
So 2014, 2015 would have been when the big War Machine crowd started to dip off a bit.
Do you remember when I did that league?
You did a lot of leagues.
I did a lot of leagues, but I did that. I went overboard.
Well, we did a league. We did a league at the Roadmender, I remember.
Yeah, I had the booklets, didn't I? I made booklets for everyone.
Oh, I think I've still got mine somewhere.
I think I do as well. Yeah.
Really?
It's in this room. It is in this room somewhere.
Because you actually put them in like proper little slip folders and stuff like that, didn't you?
I did, yeah. And I had all the scenarios based on what round you were at, and just
such a nerd.
No, and it was all printed in colour as well. I'm not going to tell you,
thanks.
I didn't do it from high.
Yes, I burned through my own ink.
Yeah, it's not my ink, and I'm meant to be at work. And I sat there for like a whole, it took me hours of just figuring out all the stuff I need, and I even made, that was nuts. That was probably the most successful.
Oh yeah, it was really good fun.
It was, and I even had a deadline, and I realised about deadlines about leagues, a lot more about that. Anyway, so yeah, Privateer Press. I don't know what. I think the model. Yeah, as the game went on, for some reason I think all the prices went up for everything, didn't it? Like,
they went through the roof. Yeah,
they went nuts. There was just there was some crazy prices for just a single model. And it was just like, there was like £35 for a Warcaster that was just on a medium, like it was just some special one. It was priced on his stats rather than it's what it is, and it was.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah,
that's how it felt like.
The prices definitely went up, but then also one of the most egregious things is that certain like big resin kits, you can only order them direct from Privateer Press in America. they're
whacked.
big resin kits that are already expensive, and then you get whacked with customs tax as well.
Yeah.
Well, the day we realised that this whole we stopped for years, and there was still like a community of people playing, but it was almost
still
like
is a community of people playing.
Yeah,
There's a good
still
solid group of a dozen people who play that.
People. Well, I don't know about a dozen. I would say 6 to 8 people that regularly play it.
And fair play to them. Fair play to anyone, because there's a lot of people who play different games in the club, and I really don't I'm not a massive fan of all of them, but fair play. I'm not a fan of any of them. I don't even know why I fucking run the club. I hate games.
Looking at this, I'd go, great. I'd love to give Warcaster a try, but proprietary dice. I don't want to deal with proprietary dice. But having said that, I play Saga, which has proprietary dice.
I will I'll look at it. It's because because Privateer Press have been known. They've made one of the best tabletop games that I've played in the past, and I know it's gone a bit downhill from there, but it was still a great game. So they do know how to make games. So there's something about me that makes me feel like I want to just keep my eye on it and see. But I am half expected to walk in there and go, this is shit.
Well, it was from the US. It was $70 for the starter kit of your choice. So like the old kit, so you get all the cards you needed, all the tokens you needed, all the dice you needed, what appears to be one of the Warcasters or whatever the new name for it is, one of the Warjacks or whatever their new name for it is, and a couple of infantry.
Well, there doesn't seem like there's a lot at the minute, and it's one of those weird things of you kind of just want to wait until they've got more on offer. Otherwise, you just
from what I know, it's the fact that it's about setting up nexuses, and you can actually teleport reinforcements in from things that you've lost in the game previously. So they'll take out your Warjack equivalent the next turn. If you've got enough focus points or whatever the equivalent is, you can bring it back onto the battlefield.
Okay, so you're not. So it's a smaller army, but you're still recycling stuff. That's a novel. I'd love to see how that works.
That's what I mean. This is what I'm intrigued to just have a look at it and then see. But I really just want to play Skytier, because that was a fantastic game that I still can't get to play, which sucks.
Is there Is there a tabletop simulator version of it yet?
There is.
It's called League of Legends.
No. So yeah, there is a tabletop simulator version of it, and they run tournaments. I have to say, and I know I'm really dick sucking this game. I don't mind. I don't mind. So
there is actually a TTS mod for a Bushido as well.
Oh, is there?
I think it would. Yeah. I think it would all melt my Mac if I tried to do it.
No. The actual
TTS is very low thing, because it's just like. Isn't it Java based or something effectively?
Java.
No, but that sounds rubbish.
Well, but that is what it is, though. Tabletop Simulator is an old program. It's just the different modules that get plugged into it update it somewhat.
MS-DOS.
How they do that.
I had a look at the Tabletop Simulator for Skytier. I think the Tabletop Simulator games on there, there's always just this element of this looks real. This looks so clunky as shit. But it's But what they've seemed to have done some real good homework with it, because they've got on their site they've got a proper deck builder on it as well, and they've done a lot of work to just whatever you build on that, you can copy the URL into it, and those two things seem to talk to each other incredibly well, to the point where people are running since obviously this whole coronavirus thing's kicked off. The guys are running leagues and doing Twitch and YouTube stuff, and they're really when you just hope a game company would just sort of just take on board these little fun things that people that the community usually do, and you sort of think, well, why do game companies could just incorporate and support that a bit more. These guys just literally do that, and that's all these little ticks for me. It's why I think this game is. So
you're playing it online then, yeah?
I'm not playing it online, but it's good. It annoys me. I literally look at it all the time and go, Why don't I do it? Why don't I just play on Tabletop Simulator? I bang on about this game so much. Why don't I do it? And I'll tell you why I don't. Because I play Legends of Runeterra too much. And that is literally League of Legends, the card game.
It's League of Legends Hearthstone, basically.
Yeah, all right, okay. Oh, look at this. It sounds like a right old
I'm just giving a broad analogy. And also what you were saying about other companies actually jumping on board with their TTS is true, because I mean, I think there's actually like board games that do like official modules where I've seen Scythe on there, and it's like you pay like, I think it's like £4, and it's like a fully decked out, properly laid out, nicely like graphics up version of Scythe on TTS. And so official companies have been jumping on that as well.
But it's free. But it's free on TTS for SkyTier.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but I mean, even if it's not free, if they're just like charging like a couple of quid, that's like what? That's
you had to buy TTS. That's what I think.
Yeah, but it was on offer for £7 last week. So
yeah, I always miss the pissing off. I bought it when it's not on sale.
I think it is.
Oh, what? So you paid the whole like what? 30,
yeah, I did. Yeah,
40
I know. I'm a fucking idiot.
Let me check. It might be in the summer sale.
It most likely is. It's usually on sale.
Yeah, always on sale, but it's never when I want it. And then one day I actually went, "Fuck it, I'm buying it." And no, it wasn't on sale, but I think I was pissed. There you go. I don't know what we were talking about. Privateer Press. Yeah, we'll look at Warcry, War Machines. Shit, but it's great. But yeah,
War Machine.
Right. Yeah, got some questions. Should we go? People have been kindly providing us content off their own back. I'm lying. No, I'm lying. I spoke to a couple of people. We've got one from Barry. Barry's he loves it. Barry Wardle from Northampton. He loves he likes our podcast. He does.
I still really enjoy Barry's commentary videos. He's been doing Marvel Champions recently. I've been really enjoying watching them on YouTube.
Yeah. Check it. So what's is it on?
Under Guardians of Tyr still. Yeah.
So Guardians of Tyr.
I'll put it in the description.
No, it won't. We said we were going to do YouTube and we didn't do it.
Well,
we forget these things. But anyway, Guardians of TYR Tyr. Go on YouTube, check it out. It's got Barry does.
I don't even play the games he talks about, and I just really enjoy watching them.
He's like a golfer, like when you watch golf.
Oh, I can't. That's boring.
Oh God. Well, he's good. Anyway, so he said he's asked us a question. What game are you doing in lockdown to cope with the non-club going slump? Have you joined any online tournaments, mobile gaming, general, or playing socially distant garden gaming? That was that. I think we kind of don't. We answered that kind of a while back, going. I'm playing Legends of Runeterra. There you go. That's
I'm playing Eldritch Horror on TTS.
Who with?
Not you.
Well, obviously.
Shock horror. I have other.
I'm offended.
I was going to ask if you guys wanted to do like a distance game of Eldritch Horror, like a WhatsApp version of it.
No,
because we've all got a copy of it.
I don't.
He doesn't. No.
I don't need a copy. You guys have a copy.
Yeah.
Well, Eldritch Horror. I think the last time I played Eldritch Horror, it was the last night before club, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we did the one where
I deliberately vexed the elder god of disease and decay.
Yes,
and the first otherworldly gate opened up in China.
Yes, that was that was good. And we actually beat the god of disease. So,
did.
We
defeated the Rona.
Yeah, Bojo should have taken a lesson from us. What did we get? A shotgun?
Oh yeah, it's like we didn't do social distancing. We all crowded together and just beat things up.
I'll probably do it, but I'd like to meet up and play games, but not Eldritch Horror. After that, I was fed up with it.
So Dee and I have been playing Eldritch Horror. We played Pandemic. We're playing Keyforge. So I don't know.
Keyforge. Oh, we had some questions on Keyforge, but I'll go to that in a minute. What has a game got to have to make you be bothered playing it? That's a good one. Good rules.
Well, I'd go further in on it and say an interesting conflict resolution mechanic.
Oh yeah,
not just a 1d6.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, 100%.
So what games?
You're talking about tabletops, though, right? I mean, there's more than just tabletops. There's the card games and board games. What drives you?
In terms of card games, because generally speaking, most card games have a resource mechanic of some kind, and I have to get along with that. Obviously, the most basic one would be Magic's mana system, but then
it's the worst.
It's not the best. It's workable around, but yeah, it's not the most fluid of systems.
Yeah, it's Windows 98, and someone's just patched it.
Yeah, it's like it works, but it's not the
best. Dale?
It's got to be being played by my friends. That's it, really.
Like, lame.
That's the thing. But then for me personally, I really enjoy sort of a story element and a slightly historical or fantasy edge. So that's why I like Saga and Sharp Practice and Bolt Action. It's a bit more thematic and cinematic in the way it does things. And
two of those are fantasy.
Saga can be historical and fantasy, and Sharp Practice you can do some weird stuff with some of their rule stuff. So
some weird stuff. Well, what?
Some weird stuff.
Richard sort of shoots lightning bolts out his arse.
Rip up the rule book and whatever bit falls onto your models die. That's magic.
But it's the novel. It's the slight novelty in the rule set. So I remember we were talking about it last week. I enjoyed Malifaux because of the card when you hold your cards in your hand and you deny your opponent that turn against it. And I enjoy Infinity because of the automatic AROs and stuff like that. And those kind of things are really cool. Saga with the battle board, Sharp Practice with the random elements, Bolt Action because it's just a simple game.
To be honest, I think the running theme with you is that you're not a big fan of You Go, I Go.
No, I'm not.
Army-wide, you go, I go.
Like, I can see it in some of the larger games you play, but like...
Yeah, if you're doing, like, fucking, like, army-size Napoleonics or something like that.
That's it, or even, like, Warmaster and stuff like that, and that works, but, like, I mean, I remember that with GW, and I get it, you can steal the objective and things like that, but you go, like, after 2 turns, and you go, oh, it's your turn now. Well, and because I play Imperial Guard, it's like, I'm going to move my 150 infantry models
and
forward
I'm going to
now.
go toilet, so let me know when you've moved your models.
Let me know when I need to do armor saves.
Yeah, I'm going to go and talk to some people and get some food.
Yeah.
I actually do remember doing that, playing someone. Oh, this is so fucking boring. Right, I'll be back. I've got a short attention span. I think another thing for me that would be an interest... and that's probably why I play a few more card games, is because I like to have something to come back home to and sort of build things in my head and have ideas about what I could do next, if that makes sense. How could I improve on my list? And I think I like card games because you could drastically do that a lot easier, and it's a bit, depending on what game you play, it's a bit less expensive. Whereas I remember when I was playing with War Machine, it was the best thing was I had my Legion army, and then depending on what Warcaster you'd get, you want to play with, you generally want to have a few guys that complement that, and then you want to go, oh, okay, well, I want to try this Warcaster. So what guys do I need? Do I need this? And all of that homework bit, or deck building, army building, I love that. That's probably one of the best bits, in my opinion, and talking about different things. And you love
to math hammer, but you don't play like the arseholes that math hammer. But you do love to sit there and work out the optimal amounts of stuff and how to do things. And
yeah, it's good fun. I just like doing a bit of homework with it. It's probably the only homework I enjoy doing. So yeah, that has to be a big element to it. I suppose that's why I like Skytier so much. It's got a deck builder, so I can pick my champions. I can deck build each champion and work out
models
all of that.
You're never going to paint.
I've got models, and
you're never going to paint. Let's clarify
and
that.
The rules engagements are interesting because it has the stack system from Magic, so that's why I like it. He also said when starting, and so he's got quite a few, but he's got one important one at the end. The rest of this is just meh. Although they're all important, Barry. When starting an army, do you try and build a list first and only buy models for that list? Or just buy an assortment and see how it goes whilst you refine?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Generally speaking, what I would do is find a theme.
Yeah, rule of cool.
Yeah.
Rule of cool. Always start. I think that's a good start of anything, the rule of cool.
There's Yeah, there's no point having an army that you don't like the look of.
No. Yeah, this army's busted, but they all fucking wear pink shit and want to fucking shoot guns out of their ass. Nah, I'm alright.
So
I want to be the deaf people. They're shit.
Find a theme that I like, and then it will be like, building a list before I buy anything. That is true, but there's a bit more kind of like, as you say, homework in terms of both theme and how that's built towards before I start to go out and buying stuff, basically.
I would buy the model that I like the look of most, and then work out what makes that. It'll be the leader. What's the coolest looking leader that I like the look of? And he's always going to be edges. He's going to be the edgiest looking guy. And then I would work out what's the good things to put with this guy. Even though if this guy is not that great, if he's total shit, I probably would be like, oh, that's a shame. But if he's generally not total shit and he's all right, I'll go, oh, that's cool. I'll go with the all right one, and then I'll just buy I'll work around what's to make this guy's army the best. Although I'm hoping that the leader generally has some units that are also cool. And if that works, then I'm very happy. So that's how I would do it.
See, a lot of the games I play don't have that same kind of thing with the leaders.
No, they're all army men.
They're all.
You could probably just take your other army. They're all
men in khaki or chainmail. Yeah. So, but again, it's. I think it's halfway between, like Mark. So I do a core. I choose whatever the army I want, whether it's Soviets or Vikings or whatever, and I choose the core, and I will go for generic. I will buy a generic core army, infantry, leadership, whatever you want, the things you need, and then from there branch out and buy bits and bobs at random as it feels. But having that core makeup that you can just add to.
Do you do homework when you're army building?
Yes.
Do you optimize, or do you go, I like the look of these guys?
No, because again, I'm not playing games for the optimization. I'm playing games because I want to play a game. If I play a game that's 3 hours long and I get absolutely trashed, but it's an amazing game and we enjoy that journey, I'm like, great. It sounds lame.
What about you? Well, what do you want? Like when you're buying that thing, why do you buy it? You know, you could buy anything and have a 3 hour game and get trashed. Well, why would you buy the guys that you're buying? Is it to optimize, or is it because
I just want it? Yeah.
All right, but why do you want it? I'm asking, why do you want them?
I'm just saying because I want it. It's not. It might look good. It might not. I don't know. There's like.
What do you mean? Well, they're either good or they look good, or both. You wouldn't buy
an
neither.
Army,
or neither. Would you buy something that looks shit, plays shit, but you'll get it anyway?
Yeah, I've got dog mines. They're the best thing ever.
Oh, I don't know what they are, but I'll take your word for
it. Soviets used to strap mines to the back of dogs to send them out to go under German tanks. The problem is they trained them on their own tanks. So they sent all these dogs off with mine straps to their backs.
Cool.
And then you roll the dice, you've got a 50-50 chance if this dog is going to run back towards your lines or if he's going to run off. Like,
Mark, I think you can agree with me. Dale is an orc player.
Have you ever actually had an orc army?
I have had an orc army. I play Tau.
Oh, they're not orcs. They're gunline.
Oh,
you had Imperial Guard. They're a gunline. You like gun lines.
No. What Dale likes is numbers. Dale likes numbers because he's actually like somewhat assiduous with his painting because he actually paints sometimes, unlike us too.
All right, fair enough. So, are you the person that would appreciate a larger army? So, are you the larger army or the elite?
I like a massed. Yeah, I like a massed army.
See, I'm an elite army man. Like, I prefer a big, small selection of hard dudes. That's always me. Plus, because I can't be fucked getting elites. Although I would like to, I do envision having a large army, thinking, oh god, I'll have loads of people. That'll be really cool. And then I go, but the big guy's really cool, and I just want to have 5 of them. Like, I'll probably be the Imperial Knight guy. That would be me.
I'm always in between. I'm always the guy like doesn't.
You're the optimizer. You are.
Yeah.
I'm only going to buy it if it's good.
Well, no, not always.
Oh mate, every time I play a game with you net that deck that shit to the fullest.
You say that every time I've played you do the same.
No, I don't. I bring the best of the thing I like. It's different.
It's like well, no, it's like I said before. It's like I go for a theme. Sometimes the theme is winning.
The theme is always winning.
Who are you playing at? Because on Saga, who have you got, Mark?
Right.
It's Horde.
It is. So I'm Horde as well with the Vikings. So
it's just that I've gone a little bit more elite.
Yeah, I've just gone for spods as always.
Yeah, so I think I've gone a little bit more elite because I've got those really nice troll models and I've got a fucking frost giant.
I'm trying to find some nice cavalry models at the moment for my cavalry riders. So, but I don't want to do horsey cavalry. I think we were discussing this before lockdown. I found
you wanted bear cavalry, didn't you?
Yeah, I found the polar bears, but then I've seen the new models for the old world, and they've got some bears in that. And I don't know if
those aren't coming out for 2 years.
I don't want to wait 2 years. I also don't want to pay £70 for a bear.
Yeah, they're going to be Forge World as well, so they're going to be expensive as fuck.
Oh. I'm excited. I do miss that. I'm looking forward to going back and
it'll be interesting because that's the thing with like Age of Sigmar is like I like the game. I think it is a good game, but there isn't really an army that captures me, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. When it was
Slaves to Darkness does kind of, but the problem is that they have decent units that work better in Chaos God specific armies. So it's like I'm not playing a Slaves to Darkness army, I'm playing a Khorne army, or I'm playing a Nurgle army, and it's like
did you not get? I thought you were going to jump on that.
I mean, I've still got a good lot of like generic Slaves to Darkness stuff. It's just that if I wanted to actually make it work, as I said, I'd have to dip into like a God specific thing.
And you don't want to do that.
No. I want to play a Slaves to Darkness army. It's the thing.
I've got one more question from Barry. It's the most important one. Xbox X or PS5?
Neither.
I knew you'd say neither, Mark. I knew you'd say Mark.
PC
neither.
Master Race over there.
No, I don't play many video games anymore, to be honest.
It's just,
if I do, it's like fucking indie games that even my like shitty like 6-7-year-old PC can handle anyway. So
neither.
You're an Xbox. You're an Xbox.
Nah. I'll go with the games are. And
I would have to say with all of the announcements and stuff like that, I would say that the PlayStation has won out in terms of what they've announced.
Well, I believe we're going to keep this brief, although I suppose some people will be interested. I'd say that in terms the winners on looks, in my opinion, is the Xbox X because the PS5 looks. I've seen the pictures of a router with 2 bits of A4 stuck next to it, and it just looks like the PS5. Or the one that was Cell's head.
No, it wasn't Cell's head. There was the one with Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh with the popped collar.
Yeah, and they put his head on it, and that's his
popped collar. The chav with the popped collar.
It's such a shit-looking machine. And then they have the audacity to go, "Oh, we're going to you can buy it cheaper." We don't even know how much it's going to cost, but they'll say the PS5 is going to be cheaper because we can also have the edition where we'll take out the disc drive. I'm like, fuck that. Why would anyone buy that? You do no sales on the PS Store. You're just going to make us overpay for all your fucking games because there's no disc drive because I can't pre-order it cheaper from some site. So. Yeah.
But then the thing is, the one with the disc drive just looks like it's got like a Nurgle tumour on the side.
It's a horrific looking console, and the Xbox X looks better. It looks like a fucking PC.
It certainly looks like a box.
Yes, it is the Xbox.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Dad? Have you seen any of them?
I have. I watched the launches.
What do you say looks better?
Okay, the console itself, the Xbox looks better, but I think PC.
Oh, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to know.
That was the thing. You wanted to know if I wanted to play PlayStation or Xbox.
Oh, well, that was the initial question. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just went, "Oh, it's shit because it looks bad."
No, I said I'll go where the games go. I'd say that the PS5 is going to win on games because whatever comes out on the Xbox comes out on the PC. So
it's all about, for me anyway, it'd be Switch. I'd choose the Switch over them. So.
Yeah, well, the Switch is already out, so the Switch did it right. They actually released the console with a game to actually give a shit about.
Oh, Zelda is such a good game.
Yeah, that was like, yeah. Do you need do you want a console? Why buy any other console? Because we want a good game.
Okay.
What a good game is Zelda. Everyone went, well, I'll fucking buy a Switch to play Zelda.
The
PS5 and the Xbox. What is it? What are you going to buy one for?
Assassin's Creed Vikings.
No, GTA 5.
Oh yeah,
Not been revealed yet.
Yeah, GTA 5 came out in 2013.
And GTA 6. It's like, no, let's not do that.
Well, GTA 6, that's not coming out yet.
It'll come out at some point.
It'll be a few years though.
Yeah, but I know that they're going to, like, From Software, who make Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, some of the top games in my opinion. If they do if there's going to be an exclusive, it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive. So, I mean,
the Demon Souls remake is PS5 exclusive to begin with.
Yeah, because I think Demon Souls is a PlayStation exclusive anyway.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was literally the best game, and that's a game that was already out. So
that was one of the only few things on the PC broadcast that I like. It's like, oh yeah, well, the PC will get it eventually.
Oh,
that was one of the best. The PC was a fucking dire this year. It was so bad. It was just like 30 minutes of indie shit that I couldn't give a fuck about.
So, yeah.
Cyberpunk is.
Cyberpunk looks. I'm going to get that.
I don't know. The more I see of it, the more I'm less enthused. It's like apparently you can't get on trains or stuff anymore.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. They're cutting things down, and they're extending out the time that it's getting released to as well. And it's like,
I mean, they can't really push it back any further now, can they? It's
not really.
Whatever.
No. Well, okay. I think we can all safely say that overall, despite the fact it looks hideous, everyone's probably still would prefer PS5 over an Xbox.
I mean, PS3 when it came out, I think that looked absolutely shocking.
Oh yeah, that looked like a spaceship crashed into an asteroid.
That was
yeah. I think the Xbox's biggest success is the 360. That was a nuts console because guess what they had? Guess what they had? Games and a proper online client for consoles.
Oh, imagine that.
Imagine. So we'll move on. So there you go, Barry. Thank you for your questions. You also said a bit about supporting stores, but we'll talk about supporting stores near the end. So this came from. I apologise if I say your name wrong. Mehmet. Mehmet, yeah. He's asked, how do we meet up and play without breaking the rules?
So I've been actively thinking about this. Thanks, Mark, for getting Vish to give me a call last night, actually, about that. So,
yeah, I mean, we had like an hour-long conversation between ourselves about it the night before. So
that sounds like Vish. This is when you have that one guy that doesn't shut the fuck up. That's me. But when someone rings, and it's never just a quick hi. It starts with a quick hi, ends with, I need to go bed. That's Vish.
The short of it is based off of the government Nando scale. You've seen the, extremely hot spice, medium, lime and chicken.
Okay, you want the lemon and her.
So, yeah, when
we're trying to get to the lemon.
So we're currently, I think the UK is currently between medium and hot right now. So, I mean, tabletop gaming itself, wargaming, we could get around with suitable distancing. You're keeping a distance as it is. That's not a problem. You'd have to look at scenery and tables. That would be your main issue about contact and things like that. How do you reduce those things?
Pre-setup.
It's just so as a club, we'd look at ideas. We have to look at ideas and go, okay, well, at this point, do we provide scenery? Do you need to bring your own scenery? We have to move away from the mouse mats maybe and use to the wipeable mats. Just those kind of things that reduce those things, and we would need to disinfect those after use and stuff like that. And how do we do that? We could safely, I think, encompass everyone we've currently got there through proper spacing in the facility that we currently use. But again, it just involves us thinking a bit more on our feet. board gaming, card gaming, that's until we're into bottom of phase 2, top of phase 1. That's not coming back for some time because it's literally you are 2 foot away from your opponent, face to face.
I mean, it depends because it was like we're on a 1 meter rule now, anyway, aren't we?
1 meter with unless you can physically avoid it. So if you can do 2 meters, and 1 meter you have to do face coverings and screens and what.
You could do card gaming, but you could do card gaming, but you'd probably have to be masked up, and you can't cut the opponent's deck. Basically, it's just between you two. You touch your cards. I only touch my cards. You only touch your cards. We've got a face mask on. That's the 1 meter rule. The whole thing's just fucking awkward.
It is. There's no easy way around it. So, and it's not going to be for a few more months. So
I don't really think there is a way you can do it without breaking rules because the rules are so ambiguous anyway.
Breaking rules currently. That's the thing. Depending on the Nando scale where we are, we don't have to break rules. That's the.
Well, it's hard because I don't know when a club's allowed back. I would have thought that would have, since if you're allowed to get a pint. What? No,
it's still.
No, we can't. Well, what's the point of the pub?
Because the thing is, you go in, you get served, and you go out. Basically,
do you have to leave? What? Do you have to have out? You don't sit in the pub.
It's like you can, but there's like very limited spacing.
So what's the difference between sitting in the club?
So
the thing is, it's like with wargaming, I think we could adhere to the rules currently as they are, no problem. We would obviously, as Dale says, we'd have to take extra precautions and have to work differently as to what we've done beforehand. But I think it is entirely possible. But then the problem comes with all of the other stuff that is closer proximity, like Bushido that's on a 2x2 board, or card games, or board games, or role-play games. So
it's also facilities and venues. So some venues won't be comfortable with that. The venue that we currently meet in isn't going to be open for some time. So we're also restricted to what we can do in that sense as well.
I think that's just most community. All places meet up, generally speaking, in a community centre. If not, it's a shop, right? If it's outside a shop, it's a community centre, and none of them are going to be allowed to open up yet because well, I don't know. Go to a pub. There you go. Take your models to a pub because apparently you can go there. Why don't you go golfing, right, and take your models to the golf course? Because apparently you can go there. You can go to the pissing beach. Take your card games to a beach. You can play there because no one gives a shit there. That's the thing.
You're a bit bitter there. You're a bit bitter, Hamish.
It's just ambiguous, isn't it? There's certain things that are allowed to be on, and then there's and you just think, okay, well, surely these lot fit into that. No.
Well, no. A lot of law is based on it's got the spirit of the law. When something's in place, there are certain grey areas, but you ideally have to adhere to the spirit of what it's supposed to be doing. That's the thing.
Well, the spirit of it doesn't feel right.
I mean, you know what? Like the highlight, I always still say this. One of the highlights of my week is going to the club on a Tuesday night, talking crap with you guys, and just rolling some dice. And
it's not happening. I suppose really, I think the only thing that's closest to potentially getting group meetups is probably a board game store. They're probably going to be the closest thing that's going to get something open sooner.
The board game stores are just opening for sales. Same vibe.
True, yeah. Yes, I know they're going to be just open for sales, but I think they'll be the first to get people in.
What we can do ourselves, though, is in our, not just as a club, but in our little communities of what we play, arrange private games. Now, that is possible.
Yeah, so you can meet up. So right now, the most reliable thing is how do we meet up and play without breaking the rules is come Saturday, you can
go to Hamish's house.
Yeah, come on. No, you can just meet up. You can prearrange with someone and play a game because, to be fair, people I can guarantee people are doing that anyway. Even though they're not many.
I've seen pictures of people playing outdoors.
Yeah,
yeah. I know for a fact people are going around other people's houses to play games. Know that it is a fact. People are doing that, even if it's not. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying people are doing it. Well, we've got.
Then the thing is, because we are like bringing like different people from different social circles and all that kind of stuff, we have to be that much more assiduous and make sure that we follow the guidelines and make sure everyone's safe that much more as well. So
yeah. We've got an obligation to keep people safe. I'm just saying in general, between two people, you can't really stop that, can you?
Nah.
Unless you're in Leicester.
Well, no, that's locked down now.
Naughty Leicester. How? Leicester. Just Leicester.
I was
fucking rule breakers. Oh, you crazy people.
I was gonna treat my wife. I was gonna take her up to Tim Hortons at the start of next week, and it's closed now. And I'm like, it's in Leicester. And I'm like, no.
We've got another one. We've got a few. We've got another one. So this is Keyforge related. Although I did tell them I haven't got a fucking clue, but we'll make something plausible up. So this comes from Mike Kerslake. If you're doing a segment about Keyforge, thoughts on the new set? How do you think FFG will? Sorry, Keyforge.
Fantasy Flight are doing some bad stuff at the moment anyway. Like, and that's just. Well, isn't the rumor mill that they're about to go under?
Well, why would I thought they're Asmodee? So would Asmodee you mean go on?
I mean, like Asmodee are like trying to fold them up
into a card.
No, literally just stripping off everything that is doing rubbish, and then just going, we're keeping these streamlined things because they're making money, and because we all know Asmodee's owned by a hedge fund. So,
so basically, Keyforge is probably doing all right. So that may stay.
I mean, I don't know. They did some cool things.
Star Wars will stay because Star Wars is money, and they've got Marvel, so that prints money. And they got Game of Thrones. I don't know if that prints money anymore.
Well, they because they couldn't release the card sets, they did some print and play versions, so you could try out the different stuff. So that was a good start from them. I don't know, and
so how are Fantasy Flight games going forward? I think that not just Fantasy Flight games. I think all games. How do you think they're going to go forward in these strange times? Don't know. It's crazy times. Unless you're Games Workshop, then probably not very well. Or Magic.
I mean, in terms of sales,
I'm pretty sure people
models are going through the roof.
Yeah, because everyone's bored.
Everyone's buying models and materials. Now, the thing we're going to find is it's not now that it's going to hurt. It's in a year and a half's time when
they've got all the army.
When we're in the middle of the darkest recession in our entire generation. When
Dale, did you not hear Boris Johnson? Build.
Okay, I'm building a new
building an army.
Don't worry.
build my Bushido army. Here we go.
That's when
they're saying it's the V shape, isn't it? We're going to go right down, and then hopefully we're going to go right back up. We don't want to do a W. Oh, that's really bad.
Wonder Woman.
Double dip.
A double dip. I like that sweet.
I don't think we're going to see any pain from a lot of companies for a while.
No. We've got another one. Oh, sorry, Matt. What were you going to...
I was just going to add more doom and gloom. It's like,
go for it. Why not?
Going on with a day where it's like, this is going to make 2008 look like fucking Child's Play.
Which it is. Like,
do you honestly? Is it going to be that bad? I think it might be really bad.
In the UK, particularly, it will be bad because we've got the double whammy of COVID-19, and then we're still leaving the European Union at the end of this year.
And despite what you may think, it's going to be rocky as shit.
Like, whether you're pro it or not,
yeah, it's going to be rocky.
There's going to be a big drop.
Mm-hmm.
So,
despite what you think, that's a fact. It's always going to be. Whenever some drastic thing changes, everyone loses their shit, and no one wants to buy anything.
Yep.
Apart from we'll all go to the pub. The pubs will do well.
I'm intrigued to see what happens with some of the companies. I mean, the other big disruptor that's coming is 3D printing. So how forgetting about how people are going to do this stuff, like
they'll sell blueprints.
Yeah, and I know we're talking more models and stuff like that, but I do wonder as well with card games and stuff like that how the new world.
Well,
works.
card games has got their own little thing going on with the online format, challenging the physical format. That's going to be that's kind of already the thing, isn't it? But I think the Clever Clogs, and despite that game being dead on its ass and completely all about season 1 of this podcast, Champions did a very good bridge between digital and physical gaming, and I think that even though they did in the end, they really didn't invest in that game that much. But I'm hoping other companies would look at that and actually go, you know what, there's a thing here that we could use to actually talk to both sides of the market.
Because those companies, physically social games with cards, are going to be gone soon. Like, they will be a niche. They will just jump past it because there's cheaper, better models. There's always going to be a market. But I don't know. I just look at it and go, why would you do that when you can just make an online game, sell online cards, you can retcon the rules as you go, you can do online tournaments.
I think they already know that. I think they generally already know that. But it's
Magic
I think
HQ.
it's the well, no, yeah, that's the thing. I think it's the collector's market. I think that is what is really propping things up, the secondary market, especially for things like Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
I imagine at the back of
books aren't dead.
No, but at the back of Magic HQ, they've just got a sign saying we're going digital by 2030. Something they would just be.
They've already done that. There's been 2 different versions of Magic Online.
I know, but I mean, that's like their final goal. And no, books aren't dead, but that's because we can all read. It's not a separate collectible thing.
But why? I know. Well, there is a bit. Why? Kindles are out. Why buy a book?
But as culture changes, as our taste change, as our society changes, like we're seeing this now, people can get out less. You can't do stuff. So I imagine Kindle sales have gone through the roof during this time.
Yeah, but I just think that there's always going to be, as long as people want to meet up and play games.
I'm not arguing that there's going to be a market. I'm just saying that market will not even be secondary. That will be the specialists.
Well, I mean, it already is specialist in and of itself anyway.
Yeah.
I do agree with Dale that the numbers are going to reduce. They have been year after year, but I'm not quite on the same level of Dale's dire predictions that everything's going to be on the computer and fuck physical by 10 years' time.
I think it's going to be. I think that people are just going to keep on top of it for our age and over. Whereas I can imagine my son trying to get into a physical card game will probably only come from seeing what all the our generation is doing. But I probably would agree, I suppose. And as time goes on, they're going to go, you know what? They're already doing it now, aren't they?
They're already doing
Everyone's playing fucking Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like my nephew's sitting there going, all right, if I made this and I spent £4 on this thing, and I've got this thing from 2 seasons ago, and I'm like, all right.
You never know. It might make I reckon it'll bounce back. I think trends come round. They come around in full circle.
Yeah, people want experience. People want to do stuff, which is why there's been a huge explosion in the last 10 years of board games. That kind of contact and thing.
That's it. So that's my point. That's people don't want to. We're already living in a point where we're trying to encourage less screen time. We're trying to actively push people to go out and meet people. I know not now because we're in this, but that's been a huge thing of what everyone's really worried about is screen time for kids. So I think they're going to, in the end, get fed up of going, all I've done is look at a screen. So as I get older, looking at a screen's boring. Who does that? I'm going to be edgy and
this
cool.
This is the difference in perspective. I don't have that worry. Mark, do you have that worry?
Well, no, obviously I don't have the perspective into.
No,
neither of us have kids. That's
but you just. I'm just saying the trend. I think it'll come. Records are. Everyone loves records. Records are old.
But you still got to remember that the level of sales in records is still minute compared to streaming and electronic sales.
Yes, I know. So I'd still say it's not going to go. But anyway.
I mean, card games are one thing, but then you've got the separate thing of war games and stuff like that. And obviously, because the aspects of that are so much more physical and so much more present.
Now, I do agree there, yeah.
I still think that they're going to be all right.
I should clarify then, what I'm trying to express there is mainly for card gaming, not for tabletop gaming as in board gaming.
I like it how you, as a tabletop gamer, he goes, yeah, we'll be fucking fine. You card gamers who should be sweating.
No, I'm not. Like, because we discussed this on the last one.
It's like, what game are you playing at the moment, Hamish?
I'm playing Skytier. Well, no. I'm playing Legends. I'm playing Legends. Yeah, that is completely a digital card game, and I love it because. But I would always prefer to play
a physical version
over. I think unanimously, everyone will probably agree that if there was an extremely decent card game with a good community, or you play a digital card game, I think everyone will go, well, if there's a brilliant community and the game's good, I'll play that. I want to meet up with people because the banter of meeting up with people and slamming cards down on the table. It's the same with tabletop games. Tabletop Simulator is effectively, if people can come up with an extremely good program to play tabletop games on your computer, that, and that's the thing.
As I said, as we said before, it's still like that's the whole difference thing with like the physicality of the actual models and stuff like that.
But it's the same thing, isn't it? I want to meet up.
It is kind of, but I think it's more less. I think it's less pronounced in card games. And the thing is, I think with like online card games is that they have done quite a good trick where it's like a lot of the systems and a lot of the way that like purely online computer card games work is it would be incredibly annoying and fiddly to do it physically.
Yeah.
Like having keep like with Hearthstone, keeping damage on creatures and all this kind of thing. It would be an absolute fucking nightmare to play physically.
Oh, it's impossible. You couldn't. Yeah. It's impossible to do that in a physical space.
And
they literally just do things that are like, I create things out of thin air.
You got to remember, people are lazy. I'm lazy. People want to do the easiest thing they can to get the enjoyment, the most enjoyment out of it. If they can do it from their phone and not have to drive to a location every time. Now, they may want to do it occasionally as an event, but not as a regular thing. And that's, again, just a difference in generation.
But so what if they could do bolt action on your computer, program's great. And they also had a program as well where you can really color, you can paint your army on a program and you can go, right, I'm going to put an extreme amount of detail on one model or 3 models even, and then I'm going to copy and paste that through the unit. So that's my entire army done. And then every time I move...
No. You're just trying to set it up. We know I'm going to play physically. But what you've got to do is ask...
And then the guns shoot.
Wait. Then you've got to ask your son... And you've got to ask my nephew, who are the same age, and go, would you rather play this game on computer or physically? And they will most likely say computer.
They'll do it because they've already got a computer, and that's what they are used to. So I'm just saying that I think you can digitally make anything happen.
No, you can't make me love you.
True. We've got a question from Brian from America. America, fuck yeah! Lick my butt and suck on my balls. He says, "What older CCGs would you like to be brought back?" Dale will be like, "CCGs are for squares."
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't say
really...
CCG. I'd say a card game. Just card games in general. An old one. What would you bring back?
Babylon 5 CCG.
What? Babylon?
Yes.
There was one. Apparently, it's quite good. Unjokingly, Netrunner.
The original or the Fantasy Flight version?
I'd like a blend of the two, please.
Oh.
How would you blend it?
Well, because the thing is, the original wasn't... It's like it still had kind of like the same kind of dynamic and stuff like that. It's just that the FFG version was a lot more refined, but also had a lot less of the background because they only had certain rights to stuff.
Well,
what they could do is they could link it in with the Cyberpunk thing, which has the full rights to all of the Cyberpunk universe with all of the Arasaka and all of the different like actual companies and stuff like that.
The old Netrunner Sorry, the old Netrunner wasn't. You didn't have like a particular character named runner with an ability. You were just a runner.
Yeah, you were just a runner. Yeah,
and you didn't have an ability. Your cards were, and it was a CCG, so you had to collect them.
The newer version was based. It was the Netrunner game, but with the Android universe. So it was a cyberpunk universe, but it was their proprietary universe.
Yeah, so. But you'd say Netrunner, Mark. You never played Netrunner.
No. It was like, if I was being completely serious, I don't know, fucking Vampire Jihad.
Hey.
Dale.
Original L5R.
Original L5R.
Original L5R. I had some of those cards, and I remember
that was just a very story-driven game.
I could never play it because I was just too young. I just didn't understand mechanics or anything like that, and no one was patient enough to teach me. So I'd love to play that game. I've got some cards somewhere. No idea what to do with any of them. So just lying around. But other than that, Netrunner. I love Netrunner as well. I really do miss Netrunner. I think that's my favorite card game I've ever played. So,
yeah, I'd agree. I'd say Netrunner was definitely the game I'd bring back. But if there was another one that I'd bring back, I'd pick Conquest.
I was about to say, I thought Conquest would be your pick.
Well, that game died in its prime. That game died when it was right in its strive.
Is that meme of the Cadians? Like, I was there when Cadia fell. Cadia didn't fall. It was like
Cadia, the planet cracked before the men did.
That's the one, yeah. In its prime.
Yeah, no, I'd bring that back. That was a nuts game. But obviously, I'd love Netrunner to come back. If Netrunner, if is it Hasbro? If Wizards or Hasbro said we're going to do Netrunner as a CCG, take my money.
I'd actually get in on it because, as you said, I didn't actually play it, but I saw a lot of you guys play it, and I would be interested in doing it because it was a game.
Yeah, that was probably one of our biggest. One of.
Oh yeah. We had like serious conversations about like we might actually have to like restrict the number of Netrunner players.
Yeah, I remember that Netrunner could fundamentally change the ethos of what our club was in the end, because it was a predominantly tabletop gaming and everything else. We'll cater to it, but tabletops always take precedence. And I suppose we still hold that because card games can be played anywhere, and it's difficult to get a board game, so that's why that is. But we actively turn around at that point after that serious conversation and went, we need to be a little bit more open to things. And I think we didn't really change anything. We just sort of had to tell
we just kept an eye on it and that, yeah.
And then we just turned around and went, fuck it, we'll just make more space.
That was pretty much our solution. Yeah,
we're not gonna stay as we are. We're just going to cater to it. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, when you got 16 people, I think it's about like a 14 people average. That's.
But then when there was like a tournament.
Yeah, well, if there was a tournament, you get easy 16. Yeah. It was, and that brought in that brought in money because they paid. Oh, yeah. The same amount as all the tabletop gamers, and we could cram in more people. So now you know why shops just cater to the card game community.
Oh yeah,
some real good space fillers. These ones.
Oh, if only I could make money out of this.
Oh yeah, but no, Netrunner was such a mega game. That would just hit that. Netrunner would hit down such a treat that it would be successful in our club, like hands down. It will bring so many card game players back. And then a lot of the people that have jumped into war games would just look at it because everyone knows Netrunner. Like Netrunner's got such a staple of its success written everywhere. So I think everyone will look at it. But one unknown one would be Conquest because that game was the tits. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Right. Well, thank you, Mark, for joining. I reckon we could, if you're free again, we'd definitely have you back on.
Yeah. If I'm free on the times you're doing it, I'll be happy to.
Yeah. What'd you say, Dale? You're our new host now. I give up. I'm just a imp.
I have no job. I have no life.
What's that got to do with Mark?
Oh, I thought you meant if you were asking if I want to come back. I just
No, you're the new host. Like I said, you're the man in charge.
yeah,
I give up. In fact, I think you're in charge, and I just go, let's bring these people on. You're like, oh, whatever. I don't care. I'm killing time.
I'm going to finish for the thing. As always, we're on Facebook. We post to SoundCloud. We're on iTunes and Spotify. I mean, if you're listening to this, you found it. You found us. But wherever you are, whatever platform you listen to us, give us some love. Slag us off. We don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, tell your mum, tell your dad safely. And
safely tell you.
Yeah, safely tell
Ma,
people.
Get off the dang roof.
Hey, Ma. Honestly, just if you don't like what you hear, tell us. If you do like what you hear, tell us.
Tell us.
Tell us anyway.
Don't.
Yeah, tell us. Tell us anyway. Thank you, guys. You're all awesome. Love you all. Bye.
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 Ooh.